Welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Neff.
I'm Edward Lewis.
Edward Lewis filling in for Charlie Cotton.
Again.
Edward, big top dog over at the sports department.
The number one substitute here.
Yeah, I know. Hey, yeah. Pisces and Pisces.
Yep.
We make greatness.
True.
Got a lot of stories we're going to get into today. Britney Spears had her birthday yesterday. She posted a video saying she's now 5 years old and attending kindergarten. And then Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann, the drama just never ends. This time, Kim accuses Kroy of throwing her to the ground, but the kids deny the claim. And lastly, Tom Brady, single and ready to mingle. He posted a thirst trap during a fishing outing, and even Eli Manning chimed in. So starting off with the legendary Britney Spears, she turned 43 years old yesterday, and she posted a couple videos. We got some photos of her boarding a jet going to Mexico, and she posted a couple new Instagram videos, which were a little maybe off from her usual posts. Here's what she had to say.
I'm not really sure why the paparazzi have me going on a plane looking like I'm wearing a Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me. I don't know why I have a torch in my hand, honestly. I think my friend accidentally gave that to me. But anyways, it's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old. And I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow.
So
the whole Jason, she's referring to paparazzi photos that she looks like Jason. Is that what she's saying?
Like the Jason mask?
Yeah,
like she's kind of accusing them of like
Does she look
photoshopping
bad?
them. No, I thought she looked fine.
Okay.
But in the torch that she's talking about, it's actually one of those like lighters with like, I don't know what those are called, with like the longer stick, like you used for like an oven or a stove or something.
Like barbecue lighter, yeah.
But I mean, it is her birthday, so I imagine maybe they're gonna light candles and a cake, and maybe that's why she has it.
Okay. I thought that I couldn't tell if that was like a fantasy land that she was living in, where she, you know what I mean, like what was reality versus not.
Yeah,
So,
I think this is
Lisa,
her personally being silly. Because usually she'll like put on this voice, she'll like say kind of like quirky things. I don't really see it as too like alarming, but I know, you know, a lot of people online thought it was a little alarming that she said that. First, she said she's not turning 42, even though she turned 43 yesterday. So that was off. But, you know, her saying like, I'm turning 5 and I start kindergarten tomorrow. I thought personally that was just her kind of being like a little silly. Oh no, Edward, what?
Is this funny? It's like because it's you either see it one of two ways, right? Like this is somebody that is going through a mental struggle, or it's somebody that's trying to just be silly. But I just don't see the silliness of this comment as a 43-year-old woman. You know what I mean?
I think everyone's like their inner child, right? Like, don't you make decisions where you think to yourself, like, wow, like 7-year-old Eddie would have loved to buy something like this. Or like, you know, when you bought like your new Mustang, you didn't think like, child me would have loved to have a car like this.
I didn't film a weird video to my millions of followers and who already a large portion of this are concerned about my mental well-being, and I'm going to feel into it with this bizarre video, and I don't see it funny at all. Like, it's not even entertaining. It's not like a British voice where it's a clear parody or something like that. Like, I don't know how to see this anything other than like, is she okay? Like this is like weird behavior. I like.
Well, you know, she did post another video, kind of also like touching more on the paparazzi stuff, how she's always like had like a volatile relationship with them. And then at the end, she mentions that she's going to move to Mexico. She's moving to Mexico.
Right.
Which we know she goes there often. Which, I mean, Mexico's an amazing country, but we have said in our past documentaries that she goes out there to get like Adderall and different prescriptions, which, you know, okay.
And she's kind of alone now, right? Because Sam Asghari is out of the equation.
Yep, she's officially single as of yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody can see this other than as alarming. You seem to think it's something joking or whatever.
I mean, I think it's fine. There could be worse things.
Yeah, obviously, but I think it's a clue to maybe
like I don't look at this video and think like, oh, she could harm herself.
I don't
Or
either.
she could harm somebody else.
But it's more of like, should we just have some people around Britney, you know, make sure that...
Well, she said she's there with friends.
Okay.
So, you know, maybe she has hopefully good influences around her and, you know, is starting fresh, being like a new year for her. Did you see like everybody posting yesterday in honor of Britney's birthday?
I did, like the throwbacks?
All the throwbacks of how like amazing she was. Like there is no pop star like her now. Like the girls now could never
Sabrina
even touch her.
Carpenter's kind of there.
Oh no, Edward.
Sabrina Carpenter has some incredible music, and she's very pretty. And
Edward, you used to have a Britney Spears poster in your room.
I did, but
as a child.
I think every generation has their Britney Spears. You know what I mean? I think Sabrina Carpenter's right there, and that I guess before her was kind of Taylor Swift. I know Taylor Swift wasn't exactly a sex symbol that like Britney and Sabrina are right now, but
is like Sabrina known for her dancing?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just did a story about her on the stage and dancing with miming a sexual act.
Oh yeah, that was very interesting. Moving on to Kim Zolciak. I mean, this couple or non-couple, whatever they are, they've got to just go their separate ways.
Well, yeah, but they can't, right? There's a money aspect to this all.
Yeah, and their house is going to be going up to auction. We know that they're going to be living separately, actually. They both got their own apartments. But there was some Thanksgiving drama. So Kim and Kroy had like a heated argument in front of their kids, which prompted a domestic violence call to the Milton Police Department. And on the police dispatch, officers were called to the home, which, like I mentioned, is set for auction, which actually is supposed to be soon.
Right.
And so Kim's allegations were that she said that Kroy aggressively removed her from a ladder while taking down curtains, causing her to fall to the ground. And she claimed that she was hurt, but she refused to show police, I guess, any evidence of an injury. And then one daughter told police that Kim fell from the ladder during an argument, despite what she had said. And the child said that Kroy encouraged her to tell the truth, but denied coaching her on what to say. And then another child stated that Kroy intervened after hearing the argument from the basement, but did not witness him pulling Kim off the ladder. So, I mean, it's just like all over the place.
Crazy.
They are never on the same page.
It's almost at the point where it's like they know this will make news, so they do it. Because if you called the police on your husband, you obviously want to press charges, and then when they get there, you don't want to show injuries that you allegedly have, which suggests that you don't want to press charge of your husband. Which, in that case, why call the police? You know, and I know people change their minds, but this couple it's just
they're so
this
toxic.
Is every single day. I mean,
know.
Or at least every single month. You know, that we're writing
every
about
single week.
Some sort of altercation between the two. But I will say that anytime there is some sort of incident between these two, it is unlike any other story we do at TMZ. You walked up to my desk and we looked at the board. It is one of the top 5 stories already right now. Like
always.
The fascination with these two, and really the fascination with these two fighting, never not makes headlines, and never not in terms of headlines, but never not people not reading these headlines. You know, we read all the headlines, and some people don't read some headlines. You know, like these people read these headlines, and to me, we're at the point where it's starting to feel contrived, and I wonder if the police department kind of steps in and does something like this.
I'm sure the police department is like
exhausted,
over responding to their
exhausted.
houses.
And then when I show up and you're accusing your husband of assaulting you or whatever you want to call it, and you won't show me injury photos, well, why am I here?
Right,
you know,
it's like a waste of like police resources when they could be like doing other things.
Look, and I don't want to. I mean, obviously, domestic violence and all that stuff is very, very serious. But it's just we do this story every other week, and now it's starting to feel like
boy who cried wolf.
Is this contrived? Are you just trying to get these police reports out there so some outlet will pick it up and write about another incident at Kim and Kroy's?
Right.
They're super famous. Pay them their OnlyFans or whatever they want to sell. You know what I mean? Like
I don't think they're on OnlyFans.
Well, you know what I mean? Like
she's
follow
selling
them on
Christmas
Instagram.
trees.
Yeah, sell on Instagram. Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, Kroy's allegations, he accused Kim of attacking him from behind and hitting him in the face. But police could not determine who was like the aggressor because they both like had different stories. And the resolution was that the officers advised the estranged couple to stay apart, but neither agreed to leave the house.
That's the other part too. Like, so I've accused you of a crime. You've accused me of a crime, but we're just gonna hang out together. Like, it just feels so icky. I don't know how else to describe it. Like the police department, I don't envy it. I would be just so exhausted.
Is there any relationship that you would think would be worth being in and deal with drama like this, but like you would put up with it to maybe still.
I mean, they make money every time something happens. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's like, it's starting to feel not real. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, leave the house. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that like Bravo won't even touch this. Like, they don't even want to be involved. Like, they don't even want to highlight this on their show.
There's got to be some sort of money making aspect to them being together and them having this
I guess keeping
relationship.
Them staying relevant is good.
That's what I mean
for them because they have like no money, right?
They're reality show stars, and that's kind of their business, right? If I was making money,
so none of you thinks that maybe some of this could be real. They could legitimately.
I don't believe they like each other, but I think at the end of the day, this is obviously all my speculation. There's got to be some sort of handshake agreement. You know what I mean? Like, why are we calling police every week to our house over squabbles that are clearly not that bad? You know what I mean? Because I'm staying in the house. I'm not showing the cops injury photos. You know, like, I don't know. This story. But I will say, people do not want to not read this.
Right. They like the nastiness.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
Oh, plenty of them.
What'd you get out of it?
Not much. I didn't make as much money as Kim and Kroy.
Yeah, that's true. All right, moving on to Tom Brady.
Tom Brady was notorious for being like fat in his NFL career.
I wouldn't say fat.
I mean, if you go back to TMZ,
bod.
there was I remember it was like one of my first years here. We got him and Giselle out in Costa Rica on vacation, and he has like a little scar on his stomach from like a hernia surgery that he had a while ago.
Okay.
And he was so fat that the fat kind of folded over the scar.
Geez.
You know what I mean? Like,
Edward, you weigh like 110
I'm not
pounds.
I'm not shading him. I'm just simply I need to preface this so you all understand what I'm about to say. So for like 20 years of his NFL career, and even if you go back to his days in Michigan when he was getting the draft, there's a famous photo of him. He just looks like an 18-year-old couch potato.
Oh, jeez.
And now this weekend he posted a picture of him on his fishing trip down in Florida following the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
And he's holding a fish, and nobody cares. What we care about is he is shirtless, and he is absolutely jacked.
Absolutely.
Jacked. Like not like, oh, he's handsome, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's been lifting weights. Like, this dude is like bodybuilding now. Like, he's got to be like 8 to 9% body fat. And I'm not kidding you. He was probably upwards of like 15 to 20% throughout 20 years of NFL.
Do you think that was intentional, though?
Correct, yeah. He was so focused on pliability during his NFL career, which means like mobility and like being able to move.
Yeah.
That, you know, I even seen when he was bench pressing the other day, Julian Edelman commented like, "Oh my God, Tom Brady's lifting weights," because everything he did was about stretching and, you know, mobility. And now, what does he need to be mobile for? You know,
right? They're like vanity muscles.
So yeah, and now I mean, he is jacked. I mean, if you people haven't seen this photo, it's crazy. Like
But, like, do you think he's getting more girls than he was before? Like, he's still getting the same amount.
Well, he was married, so he's getting way more now.
But, like, even before Giselle. Like, I mean, actually, to prove my point, like, when Tom Brady was, to your point, tubby, he literally landed Giselle Bündchen, biggest top model ever.
I mean, he doesn't need to be jacked to get girls, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing's changed. Like, all of us are still looking, but now we're, like, really like, oh, yeah.
I mean,
like,
for real, though, now it's, like, not about, like, dating the 7-time Super Bowl champion and the almost billionaire. It's about dating this super handsome man. And he keeps getting older, but he doesn't look older.
Yeah, he's getting better with
you know what I mean? Some people like they get older and they're still sexy.
Go.
Yeah, or they stay in shape, but you can still see their face. They get older. You know, like he just perennially seems like he's 36 years old. You know, like and he's got to be almost close to 50 now.
Well, so. I mean, he's rich. He's on a boat in this photo.
Yeah.
He can get any woman he wants. He probably is getting a different woman every night.
Yeah.
Like
if he wants it, yeah.
Yeah, I think you would look different as well if that was your life, right? Eating everything you want to eat.
I guess.
Looking, you know,
that's true.
Good.
Yeah, but so part of the story is Eli Manning. They have a rivalry, and they've had a rivalry. Eli beat him in 2 of the Super Bowls, and they're friendly now. And Eli chimed in and said he wasn't impressed with the catch, and then Tom Brady chimed back with, "Did you use a helmet to catch that one too?" It's a reference to a Super Bowl play where he caught it, where one of his receivers caught a helmet catch, and so everybody's having fun with it. Eli Manning clearly a little bit, I don't know, envious, maybe you could say, because they're a little bit back and forth, but handsome
good
dude,
for
man.
Tom Brady.
Handsome dude. So we're not live, so that means that we can kind of end the show
With Today in History?
Yeah.
Wow, Edward's going to do
shout
Today
out Wild,
in History.
Wild sent me some.
Thanks, Wild.
Today in History.
Okay.
Bartender Appreciation Day.
Oh, were you ever a bartender?
Honestly, I'd love to be one.
Really?
I love meeting people at bars.
You want to be like, do a little shaker?
Not like, no, I want to be like a fancy one. Like, I want to like pour beers and like talk to people.
Oh, okay,
and, get a little flirty. You know, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I did bottle service. Does that count?
No.
Oh. I feel like it kind of does.
What'd you do bottle service?
At the Playboy Mansion. I did like their parties, like their Halloween party, Midsummer Night's Dream. I'll never forget when I worked the Playboy Mansion party, I had the celebrity table and like every celebrity was there. Like they bring the celebrities to that one table. And it was like Kelsey Grammer, Paris Hilton, Chris Brown, Tayo Cruz. Like I had everybody.
Okay.
And I'll never forget Paris. She came in. It was just like shocking because she's like gorgeous in person, and all the crowd just like was, you know, going towards her, and they like moved the red ropes so she can come to my table. And she asked me, she's like, I'm like, oh, what do you want? You know, and by the way, like I will say, like, you don't know how to do mixed drinks, right? Like it's very simple. It's like you bring orange juice, cranberry juice, you might get them tequila, maybe some champagne. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what would you like? And she's like, do you have tequila? And I'm like, yes, I do. So I went and got some tequila. And I put it in like a little glass and or not glass, but cup, and gave it to her. And she's like, can you chill it? And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like, how do I chill this right now in this party? So I just like put the cup like in the ice and like let it sit there for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, okay, here you go. And she's like, thanks. She took her shot and then she jumped on the couch and she's like started dancing. And she's like, come up here. And she grabbed my hand. Oh. She brought me up with her and she's like, let's dance. And then we started dancing. I'm like, what is my life right now?
Wow.
Sorry, quick story.
How long ago was this?
Maybe 2012.
Man, that's crazy. You had a whole
great
separate
era.
life, huh?
Yes, yes.
Wow,
me and Paris.
Now you just don't do that anymore.
No,
it's pretty crazy.
No, I'm old and thanks, Edward. Thanks for reminding me. I once had a hater.
Yeah, wow. That's on this day. The Sony PlayStation was released in Japan. This was in 1994.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Did you have a PlayStation?
I used to play video games. Now I don't. Now they're not as interesting to me. Did you have a PlayStation? Or
no,
Xbox?
I had a Super Nintendo. Okay. Super Nintendo? Yeah, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, okay. 2010, you might care about this. Okay. The Black Swan was released in theaters.
Oh, that's cool. Iconic movie.
Yeah, I'm not.
With Natalie Portman? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Is that there's a show now too?
Oh, is there? Okay.
I don't know. Birthdays.
Okay.
Ozzy Osbourne, 76.
Ooh, wow. He made it to 76.
Dude.
Can I say that?
I know you're kind of joking, but I went to see a Post Malone concert a couple years back with Lucas, one of my coworkers here.
Yeah, Lucas
and Widman. He has a song with Post, and they like wheeled him out, and it was just like, I was like, oh my goodness. To your point, like it's like he
partied.
Yeah,
he was young, so I'm sure he'd say the same thing.
Good for him to still be kicking. Amanda Seyfried. Seyfried?
Seyfried. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 39.
Wow, she's 39?
Yeah, kind of.
Wow, I mean, it is so hard to compete with girls these days. Like, they're setting the bar high on looking good.
And then Tiffany Haddish, 45.
Oh, we love Tiffany Haddish. She's so fun. Yeah. All right, Edward. Thank you. I missed a good Today in History. That was much needed. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Edward, for joining us.
Anytime.
We'll catch you tomorrow.